Hello everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna try to get my microphone set on here. Oh my goodness, how's everybody doing? I'm gonna get situated, so I gotta sit up. I don't know why I can't get situated before I sit down. You would think I could, right? So, anyways, let me adjust my camera. This thing is loose and I need to tighten it. So how's everyone? I've got the comments ready to load. And there is about a 15-second delay. I did check the computer. I am in the right spot and we are good to go. And we will wait a few minutes because I'm actually early. Not sure what's going on with that, but that's a good thing. So come on board and say hello. If you're new here, let me know where you're from. I'm trying to hook my microphone up. Bear with me. Sorry. I'm trying to get it on the right side. All right. It looks like we are connected. So we'll wait and see if we can get any comments. Make sure when you come on and announce yourself, put your name in there, please. Since we're in the group, I can't see the names. And let's see. Hi, sweet thing. Who is that? All it says is Facebook user, so I'll know who it is. You can put your initials if you want. I might be able to guess it from there. So maybe it's counting two because it's got me and both cameras. I'm not sure. I gotta drink some water. I had leftover Smoky Bones. My husband brought it back from Lakeland because he had his first in class Saturday. First time in, what, a year and a half or so? So, but anyways, we'll give it a few minutes. I'm early. Gosh, how come my nose always starts itching when I come on? I just don't understand it. Let me adjust my camera. I want to make sure I'm centered. Nope, going the wrong direction. Oh, there we go. See if I can get it to stay like that. All right, so for everybody that's coming on, if you don't want to announce yourself, that's fine, but let me know that you're here. Oh, it's Marie. Hey, Marie. Let me know that you're here. And why do I have a little, hang on a second, I've got a little button up here. I better not touch that. I don't know what that means. So it's a few minutes before 7, so I'm early. But as you come on, make sure you put your name in the comments, since this part of Facebook doesn't let me see who's on, but I will see them when I go back and check messages and respond afterwards. So come on in. Welcome, 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 everyone. Get situated. We're going to do 2 cards this evening. They should be, one's pretty easy. The second one, I wasn't too thrilled about it. I'm going to change up one of the color schemes because to me it looks a little weird. But anyways, we're going to do some watercoloring. But for those of you, hey Karen Jo, how are you? So those of you who are just joining, my name is Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent Stampin' Up. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I live in the Villages, Florida, and it is hot and humid and probably in the mid-90s, if I'm not mistaken. And we don't go outside because it's too freaking hot. So, but anyways, and now my yard people are done at the end of August, and now I have to start mowing the yard again. And, oh, I knew there was something I was supposed to do. Oh, well. But anyway, so make sure that you like my Facebook page and share it with your friends if you haven't already. And if you haven't visited my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to that. And I'm also on TikTok now. So I'm trying to reach, it's a whole different demographic. So I've got another video I'm getting ready. I'm trying to load it. I'm still figuring it out because I've just started doing this in the last week. So I think I have three or four videos. And what's the oddest thing is the one that has my face has gotten more watches, I guess, views, than the ones where I'm showing cards. Isn't that weird? But anyways, it's a whole different way you do things. So so I'm learning that, and I think I'm gonna, and I said this before, I'm just gonna make time in my schedule. I'm gonna try to do a YouTube live. I might do that during the day just to get a feel of how it goes. The only disadvantage for me is I don't think I can see the comments coming through, so I'd have to respond to everybody afterwards. So I'm not sure about that. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, so what's everyone doing? Everybody getting ready for the holidays? I know it's early. I've got my new class. Next class is coming up. Actually, it will be my second in-person class at my house on Saturday the 18th. So that's going to be a little strange. And my dog and I are going to do our first therapy visit. Well, it's a read visit. We're going to go to school on Friday to our first graders. And this will be a first time in like a year and a half, I think. Well, let's see. All of last year, right? Because we were gone. So yeah, it's been almost close to 2 years. So we are going to go Friday and see how it goes. We always sit out in the hallway, so which is not a problem for me because that way I'm not around all the kids. I'm not around anybody else. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how how this group likes Riley. Oh, no. I'm not saying do it for you guys. I'm just saying the YouTube, I'll do that for a whole different group of folks. No, I'll continue to do the Tuesdays for Facebook Live. No. I'm just going to, that might be another avenue I reach out to once a month. We'll see. Yeah. I know the kids love her. So, and I'm sure the teacher talks are up. So they're looking forward to meeting Riley. I just, I'm still concerned about this whole virus thing. I'm not sure. So we're just going to take it week by week. So we go every Friday. We go at 1 o'clock. So it'd be good to see everybody. And then of course, Halloween, we'll dress up. And we always dress up in our outfits, and she has her outfits. And then Christmas, we always dress up because she is Mrs. Paws, and I am her elf. I'm her helper, and I have an elf outfit that I wear. But anyways, so all right. So anyways, it's 7:01. We'll give it just another minute or so, and then we'll get started. I know we've got people slowly straggling in. And Phyllis, I will not forget you. So while we're waiting, let me go ahead and do a couple of announcements. We have, if you're on my newsletter, list, then you would have gotten this today. If you're not, and you would like to get on my news list to stay up to date on what's going on in the Stampin' Up world, you can do that. I think I have a link on my Facebook page. If not, you can go to my blog at shallwestamp.com, and at the top there's a sign up button. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's on the, well, depending on if you're on a laptop or a phone, but there's a sign up button where you can sign up. But we have a new Christmas kit, one of our new kits that, Stampin' Up with this new catalog started offering different kits. And they're only as while supplies last. So you daggone well that the holiday ones are going to go fast. And it's called Christmas Whimsy. It'll be available tomorrow. I believe it's $19, but it's a full all-inclusive. So you'll get a stamp set. You'll get I think it's a Night of Navy ink spot. And then all of the materials needed to make, I think it's 8 cards, if I'm not mistaken. So that goes live tomorrow. So if you're on my newsletter, I put that out there today. You'll see pictures of the stamp set and the cards. And then there's also a video from Sarah, our CEO, Sarah Douglas, and she goes through the whole kit and shows you all of the things. So it's a cute kit, and it's the whimsical, kind of like the Whimsy, that set we have out. So it might be something. If you want it, you better get up early and order it, because I have a feeling they're going to sell out. I don't know how many they have. I don't know how many they have made in advance, but it's what they say, first come, first served, and once they're gone, which I don't know, we'll see. So anyways, so let's go. Okay, so let me do my announcements. How's that? I'm gonna let's see. So it's Celebration, as you all, most of you know that it is Celebration. So every time you spend $50, you get a free stamp set and or paper that you can choose from our Celebration book. And then if you decide to join my community, I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see this. So if you decide you'd like to join my stamping community, you get to choose $125 worth of product for $99 plus tax. Stampin' Up will pay the shipping. In addition to that, for this month only, you get to choose one of 12 of these bundles, stamp bundles, and they're holidays, not all. You've got some fall, Nature's Harvest, you've got a lot of the holiday ones, and most of them have dies that coordinate with it, and 2 have punches, which is the deer right here, which is the class that I've got coming up on the 18th. So if you're interested, it's on my Facebook page. You can sign up for that. I do have that class to go or in person. And then the penguin place, that one has a coordinating punch. Everything else have coordinating dies. So these run anywhere from $31 to $60. So you're getting almost right about $200. Really, it's over $200 because you're going to also get a free paper pumpkin kit in your starter kit. And you can do this to get a discount. And if you sign up now, October, November, December, you know, if you decide you just want to do it to get your kit and get a discount on your purchases during the time frame, that's up to you. If you want to continue and buy your product at a discount, that's up to you. You don't have to teach classes unless you want to, but I can show you ways that you can help people. You can get your friends and family to help you meet your minimum requirements to continue with your discount. If not, then you just go back being a customer, either of mine or whoever else you may have been working with. So, but anyways, I would love to have you in my community. I've got stampers up the East Coast of Virginia. Let me think about this. Virginia, Maryland, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and I think one has moved to North Carolina. So that's where most of my people are, and of course here in Florida. So that's where most of my folks are. So if you're interested or have any questions, reach out to me by Facebook Messenger, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you about that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I lied to you all last week. I did not announce the cards like I was going to, so that's my apologies. All right, so the corner card that I made 2 weeks ago, which is this one, you're going to get one card because I only made the one. So I'm going to give out the one that I made during class, and then I'll also give the one that I used as my one to show you all. This is my shopping code if you all decide you want to shop with me. So the cards, these 2 cards go to, oh my gosh, you know what I did? I'm an idiot. Hi, Denise. I wrote down this. I have to go back and pull the names, and I never pulled the names. So never mind. Forget this. I'll put these up on the page in the morning. I'm a dork. I wrote down the comments so I could go find them on my page, and forgot to do that and thought I was all ready to go. So I'll put those. I promise I will put them on the page by tomorrow morning. So anyways, sorry about that. So there'll be names out there, and I'll put down the corner pocket card is this one, and then this one is the double pocket card, so you'll know which one you're going to get. All right, so sorry about that, my mistake. I've got too much going on, I think, or maybe not enough going on, I don't know. All right, let's get started. I'm going to work with the Pretty Pumpkins. I wasn't going to buy this set, and then I saw I don't really have that many fall cards. Hi, Judy. Hi, Fran. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're just getting started, and of course, as usual, I'm kind of being a dork. I forgot to pull the names for this week's class, so I promise I wrote it down, but I don't have the actual name. So anyways, I will do that tomorrow. But I didn't really have any intentions of ordering this stamp set, and then I started seeing all these cards, and I was talking to my BFF, and I thought, I really don't have any fall cards, and I really need to hey, tell him I said hello. I love your husband. He's a nice guy. He treats you like a queen. So but I don't really have a lot of fall type things because I usually sell off my sets when they retire. I went ahead and bought the stamp set, but I didn't buy the die. So we're going to work with this. Hi, Linda. It's got to be Linda from Idaho, I'm assuming. If it's not, you'll let me know. So I didn't buy the dies. I just bought the stamp set, and I think it's only because I only have a few months to use this before I can't use it. Well, technically I can use it, but I can't use it for me. So I'm going to do some fussy cutting, but I've done most of that in advance, but anyways. And then one of the card that I'm making, the first card, we're going to use the bark embossing folder, and I'll show you why, because I forgot to put it on the card, and I'll show you. So the first card that we're going to make, let me move this out of the way. Whoopsie. I realized when I looked at it, I thought, well, something looks wrong with this thing. It looks kind of naked. Well, it's because Dawn didn't run her piece of Very Vanilla in the embossing folder. So this is the card. Now there's two things about this card I don't like, and we're going to change it up. One, this is too plain. This is too big. Once I put it on there, I thought, no, it's just way too big. So I'm going to just do a different sentiment. But this is the card that we're going to make. And it's it really isn't that hard to do, even though I had to fussy cut these. And then, of course, the inside, we stamped a pumpkin and then put one of those little leafy things in it. Okay, can you see that? Now, this is another tip to let you all know. Now, this is Old Olive. Now, we don't sell Old Olive sheer ribbon, now do we? No. But guess what Donnie did? I took the sheer ribbon, the Subtles, soft succulent, and we're going to color it using our Old Olive dark blend. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. All right, so let's get started. And let me show you, now we're using Pear Pizzazz as our card base, and it's cut at 4 1/4. I'm going to move this off the way for a little bit. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 11. Let me get all my pieces out of my envelope here so I don't miss anything. Okay. All right, and I've got a lot of coloring that we're going to do, so just bear with me a minute. I'm trying to get organized. All right, so we're going to fold this in half. Actually, let me bring in there's my thing I was looking for earlier. I couldn't find my little plate for my the baby embossing machine, and there it is. Okay, so we're going to score this at 5 1/2. So remember, it's always half of what, whoops, I got my paper trimmer there. We don't want that there, do we? So we're going to line this up at 5 1/2 since this is 11 inches. So half of 11 is 5 1/2. You didn't know that doing Stampin' you were going to have to learn math, did you? But we do. I honestly, I'll tell you, the only time I learned about eighths is when I went into the mortgage world. I never knew the first thing about the eighths or 16ths, but really eighths because we use that in our pricing. Never did I ever know anything. I had to learn about eighths so I could price my customers' loan interest rates right. I know it is smart on coloring the ribbon in it, but that way it gives you more use of your ribbon. You can make all sorts of different colors. Okay, so this is our Pear Pizzazz. Now we're going to set this off to the side because we don't need this just yet. Okay, so we're going to put him over there. Now we've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz. And then I've got my piece of Very Vanilla that I did run through the embossing folder. And that's going to go right on the front of this. And I'll glue that down. And then we're going to do some stamping. And I'll do a little bit of coloring. I'm not going to do a whole lot because most of this I've already done because I wanted to save a little bit of time. But I do want to just show you a little bit of coloring. And so let me go ahead and let's add our bark to the front of this Pear Pizzazz. And you can use your Tombow on here, but usually when you use these embossing folders, it's probably better to use the tape runner, like your Seal or Seal Plus, because it does hold it a little bit better. So we're just going to place that down now. Now this one I've cut it a little bit shorter, so I don't have as much as the width, just enough to see it through. And then that's going to go on the front of the card. All right, now the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to set that off to the side here, is we're going to pull in our Memento black ink. And let me tell you, when I got done with the second card, we're going to do some watercoloring. And I'll show you what I don't like about that either. And hopefully we can do something better. I had ink all over me. It was just a mess. Okay, so we're going to come in and we're going to stamp the 3 pumpkins right here. So I'm going to turn my block upside down because it's a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to walk my Memento black around it. Okay. I'm going to set that off over there. And then I'm going to stamp that right on this piece right here. And I'm using Very Vanilla for all of my stamps, for my pictures that we're going to stamp. Okay. So we're going to stamp that there. And then we're going to come in. Got one from a sentiment. Now this one, Did I show you, let me just show you if y'all haven't really seen. I didn't really give you good details. Look at how many I mean, isn't this gorgeous? You can color this, and then you've got this on the pumpkins, and then you've got this other one here with a flower, and then you've got some really nice sentiments, and then this this one here we're going to use on the next card, but the rest of them we're going to use on the card right here. All right, so then on this one, let me think what I'm doing here. I will stamp, I'm going to stamp just one of these, and I'm going to do some coloring. I don't want y'all to sit here and watch me do all of this coloring, so I've already colored and fussy cut the stuff out because I didn't want y'all to sit there and watch me. All right, we're going to pull in our Stampin' blends, and I am going to just color the pumpkins and do this one real quick. So I've got a collage here. I've got pale papaya, light and dark. That's going to be for our little flower. And then I have pumpkin pie. We have our pumpkin. And then I've got old olive for the leaves, and crumb cake we're going to use for the stems right here, and we'll use that on the next one. And I'm using just the light, I tell you what, these things are getting harder and harder to open. I don't know, maybe because I'm getting older. So I'm just going to use these for the little, I don't know what you call these. What do you call these things? I guess this stem that sticks out of the pumpkin. I'm not sure what it is. And this is light crumb cake. So I'm just going to color that. And this is pretty easy to do. And then we'll come in. Now I'm going to come in with my dark pumpkin. And see how these lines are here? Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. These lines, I'm just going to come down and kind of follow what the artist has done. I'm going to make the little dots where they have a couple of little dots there. And then just do a little bit along the way. Just trying to follow what, you know, obviously they must know what they're doing. Because, you know, I don't. I just follow the lines, make a few little dots. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this pumpkin. And I'm doing it in the darker so it gives it a little bit more definition. And I'm trying not to press really hard. I'm just trying to do a light on that. Whoops, let's do this one while I got it out. So we got these little dots here. So I guess it's just the way the pumpkin's sitting. And I'm going to highlight these little lines right here. And I'm sure y'all do the same thing. And everybody has their own technique when it comes to coloring. And trust me, I am not the expert. And then I want to make sure that I pull it. Look at our pumpkin. This is the light pumpkin, and this is the dark papaya. Don't they look almost the same? So you have to make sure you read your colors. I have little dots that I've placed on. Where's my camera? I have little dots that I've placed on mine on both ends, so I know which one I'm getting. All right, let me come out of here just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to take my pumpkin pie, and I'm going to come in, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill these in real quick. Now, I've noticed that when I use the big fat tip, it's a little bit darker than the skinny one. And I'm not sure if it's because the ink is, I mean, they're laying flat, right? So the ink should be dispersed, but maybe because it's bigger, it's holding more ink. So I'm going to do a little bit of pale papaya on this as well, just to give it some effects, like maybe some light shining on it. So we'll just do a little bit of that. But I'm going to come in with this, and then I'll come back in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and color these down. Now I'll come back with the thin tip and hit all the little areas that I haven't met with this big tip, because I don't want to go out. Well, we're going to fussy cut this. Well, by the magic of being on camera, it's already done. But we're just going to color this for just a couple of minutes and get an idea. See, and we might leave a little bit there. Okay, now I'm going to come back with the small tip, and I'm going to fill in right around the edges so I don't go outside of the lines. Okay, and you can leave them. You know, it could be a funky pumpkin that might not have all its color been, you know, how sometimes they lose some of that color. And then we'll make sure we get all the ends and the side pieces. And so I'm just going to go around one more time. So we got that. Now I'm going to come in with the pale papaya, which is this one. I'm using the light, and I'm just going to make this. Look how hard it is to open these things. I must be getting old. So I'm just going to come in that kind of gives it a little bit of, you know, like it's. Oh, and I got right here. Now look, this is where you've got to pay attention. Let me make sure I've got the light pumpkin. right behind this, this little nubby thing, see right here? There is part of the pumpkins. We have to make sure we color that as well. All right, now we're going to come back in with our olive, and I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves. I'm going to take my dark, and I'm just going to kind of come across these lines just a little bit. I'm just going to do a little light and a couple little dots around, and I'll do the same thing here just for the veins of the leaves, and hopefully they'll show through. All right, and then we're going to come in with our light, and since these are small, I'm just going to use the small tip. And if you haven't tried our Stampin' Blends, I would encourage you. It's really a great item to use for coloring. Guess what we're going to do next week? I think I'm going to do the new chalk. You know we have chalk. Did y'all know that? We have chalk, well, I guess chalk sticks. But I'm going to do some different coloring using the chalk. And I think we'll do dry, and then we'll maybe do it with it being wet and see what the difference is in the colors. What do y'all think about that? Have you tried the chalk ones yet? Leave me a message and let me know. Oh, it's a stem. Hello. Or the kids handle. So if you've bought the new chalk colors, I forget if there's 10, I can't remember. Let me know if you've used them yet. So I'm going to experiment with those. All right, so there's our pumpkins, and then we're going to come in and do this one, and we're going to color this one. I'm going to color this one as well. So let me come in with my dark olive, and I'm going to do the same thing here on the leaf just to give it a little bit of definition here. And we'll get these colored, and I'm going to color that flower in papaya, and then we'll come back with our light olive. And I'm just going to color these guys in and try to blend. This is the light. Sometimes I could start coloring and it looks darker, and I always have to, I second guess myself. I'm really glad I have these little doodad things that I was able to get to put on the end of my markers. Okay, so, and again, these we're going to fussy cut out. And as soon as I get this one done, if you like to fussy cut, this is good. If you don't like to fussy cut, then you need to order the dies. But I didn't, so it's going to get fussy cut. And then this little vein right here, I guess it's like a little stem. I'm just barely touching it with the tip of my pen just to make sure there's a little bit of color on there. And then I'm going to come back, so we're done with that for now. I'm going to put the pumpkins away so I don't get them confused with my papaya. And I'm going to bring in my dark pale papaya. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make a little bit of dashes here and color the circle to give it a little bit more of some spice to that. And then we'll come in and color, we'll come in and color this one. And then these are going to be used to on the front of the card with our pumpkin. All right, so, and then you can add, the more color you add, the more, darker it's going to get. So there's our pumpkins. All right, so with the magic of TV, hello, I fussy cut these out. And then there's this other little image that has one leaf, and then this one has two. Okay, so one of these is going to go on the inside of the card, so I'm going to set that off to the side. These that I just did, I'm going to put those in my box because I'll use those later. Okay, so let's, all right, let's do our ribbon. Now, we want to color our ribbon, so let's do that before we do anything so it gives it time to dry. So I'm going to pull out, and this is the soft succulent. I'm going to probably do about like that. That's probably going to be more than I need, but that's all right. So let's, let me move this out of the way for just a second. I brought this paper out because I knew we were going to color. Let me find, let's use this guy. This guy's been used. All right, so we're going to lay it on here. And this is the nice thing. You can color, and with the olive being so dark, it's easy to color it. And I use the fat tip, right? So we're going to open this up. We're going to take our fat tip, and all you're going to do is lay it down. And you can see I'm starting to use up the ink on here. Is you're just going to rub it, and I just want to make sure I get the sides really good to cover up that soft succulent. And I just come down and I just keep adding the ink, and then I'll come back one last swoop. So this is a nice way that you can add different colors to your ribbon, you know, and we used to have, you know, we have that white crinkled, right? So you can do the same thing with the crinkled, with the crinkle paper. You can, I mean, crinkled ribbon, you can color that as well. I think we're good. I don't think I need to go any further. So let me just go back into the center and make sure that that's got color to it. This is probably not a good thing to do with your marker, with your Stampin' blends. You could use your Stampin' Right markers. So there's our olive green, okay? So you can see my tip has gotten a little funkadelic there, but it's okay. He's getting low on ink, so I'll have to order another one anyways. So I'm gonna just set this off to the side until we need that ribbon, because we'll add that last, all right? So now the next thing we're gonna do, let me go ahead and stamp the sentiment. I'm changing that one up as well because I didn't like the one that I had. I went ahead and used one of our stitched rectangle dies, and I hope this thing fits on here because I didn't measure it. I kind of eyeballed it. So we're going to stamp this on here, Gather Together, and I'm going to stand up for this one so I make sure I can get it in there, and hopefully we get it straight. Hang on 1 minute. Let me get it so I can see. All right. I don't know who's calling me, but I put this thing on Do Not Disturb, and obviously it disturbed me. So I hope that didn't mess up the recording. So I'm going to try to get this on here. Some of the cursive might be off just a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, there we go. That's not too bad. Very nice. Oh, got that done. Okay. Why my phone rang, I don't know. It's supposed to not come through when you tell it to silence it. All right, so let's move on. Hang on 1 second. Let me clean this off. All right, now we can put our card together, and then we do have to do another stamp. We're going to do another stamp, and I'm going to have to be careful because we're going to do something a little different too. All right, so let's go ahead and build our front of the card. Now let's yeah, we're fine. I think we can do this. All right, so I'm going to lay these down flat. And then I'm going to pop the sentiment. I think this is going to look better because it's much more in contrast with the size opposed to that other one. All right, so I'm going to lay this right about here because I know my sentiment can go up higher. And I'm just going to use my adhesive, and I think I'm going to use my seal. Now that one goes on the inside. So let's go ahead, and I'm not going to pop these up because I don't want it to have too much bulk. So we're just going to put these down with our Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to place those probably right about there. This is really easy. You know, you just fussy cut. So, you know, if you can't afford to get the bundle, then just buy the stamp set and just cut them, you know. And with the paper being vanilla, you can't really see the paper, you know, because you can't get into these little intricate parts here. So then that way you can still make these beautiful cards. All right, and then we're gonna, I've got one of these, and give me just a second so I can get some adhesive on that. And then we're gonna place this, I'm gonna put them like with the tail going out so you can see that part. So I'm gonna put this right about there, okay? Now notice this one's got the 2 leaves, and then this one just has the 1 leaf. So I'm gonna place that one right about here, and I'm gonna probably tuck it under. So I'll lift that up just a little bit. Let me get a little bit of adhesive on this one. Okay, and then this one, I'm just going to put a little dab of adhesive. I just opened up a new bottle, so that thing is like oozing out. Did you know, do you all, let me, I'm going to ask you a question when I get done here because I don't want to be a squirrel and get sidetracked. I'm going to put this one right underneath. You're not really going to see that flower too much because of, we'll just set this one, hang on, I'm trying to get it so it goes in the corner. Because the ribbon is going to be in the way. But that's all right. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to add this to the front of the card. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll add our ribbon and add our sentiment. But isn't this a pretty card? But I want to ask you something. I never have been able to get this about our Tombow glue. I'm gonna show y'all something. Now this is cut down a little bit smaller than normal, and the size. Let me tell you, hang on, let me get this thing straight. Okay. The size of this, oh, and this is Pear Pizzazz, and then I'm using Old Olive. And the Old Olive is 3.5 by 3.5 by 4 5/8. And then the very vanilla is 3 3/8 by 4.5. Okay, so it's just it's a smidge, but I really think that's cute. What do you think about that so far? Isn't that cute? Okay, so now we're going to add our sentiment. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals though, but I didn't really care for the one that I did. The other one is just too big. So if you happen to get that card, you'll have to deal with it. I'm just joking. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and then we're going to do our inside of our card, and then we'll be done. And you can always stamp the envelope, which we might do. I think I have the envelope here somewhere. Yeah, I do. So we'll decorate our envelope as well. So let's go ahead. Now I can center it here, or maybe offset it. I think centering it. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'll center it right about there, because there's a large gap there. So let's put that right there. Okay. Now our ribbon should be done. So we're going to go ahead and tie a bow, and then we're going to use our glue dots, and we're going to attach this. So let me get the bow in here. But isn't this cool how we can make our different colors? Hang on a minute. I'll get my thumbs in there. I need to get my nails done, and I haven't done them. Well, I don't do them, but I go to the nail person, and they really should be done. But I've got to do yard work, so I'm going to get that done first before I get my nails done. Why waste my money? Okay, so let me just tighten up. Hold the middle center part of the bow right here, and pull your tails down, your loops, and then tighten them, and get your bow the way you want it to look, all pretty. And I'm just going to play with it for a minute, because that's what you have to do. Is Faye on here, Faye Godby? Faye, are you on here? If you are, let me know. She sent me a beautiful card today. That was so nice of her. I want to thank you for that. Okay. So I don't want to get it too big. So let me I'm trying to bring it down. And sometimes you have to bring your loopies down a little bit smaller than what you actually want, because by the time you pull it tight, then they get bigger. You see what I mean? So let's get that, and I think that'll be fine. I'm going to trim off these tails, and then we can fight with this. So let me trim my tail, and we're going to make them a little bit on the small side. Okay. All right, let's get a glue dot. They're here. I know they are. There they are. All right, so let me pull my tails in some. Stay within the camera here. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to put 2 glue dots on the back of this guy, because I want to make sure he sticks. So we're going to put 2 on here. All right. And then I'm going to place that probably right, hang on, I'm going to get my tails, because I want them not to cover up. How about if we place it right about here? I don't really want to cover the flower, but let's place it right about there. And let's fluff up my bows just a little bit. I kind of like these guys to come down a little bit more like the ribbon should. All right, and let's snip this guy up just a tad. Okay, all right. There's the front of our card. So now let's do the back of the inside of the card. Now for this one, I'm going to stamp a pumpkin. Now the only pumpkins I have are the 3 that are right here, right? So I want to stamp this pumpkin right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Memento Black, and hopefully I can do this without messing this thing up. All right, so I'm just going to, all I'm going to do is take my pumpkin and try to get this part of my pumpkin covered in ink. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is do it this way, because I have more control over it. And if I get if I get black ink where I don't want it, which I can see I've already done. All right. So I'm only going to stamp this one right here. I'm going to take a baby wipe, which Denise, I only have 2 more packets. I just opened my package. I have 2 more left out of a box from, well, obviously we didn't teach classes for the last 1.5 years. So, all right, so I'm going to wipe off any excess ink on these outside pieces that I don't want. And hopefully when I stamp this, it doesn't get on my card, okay? And if it does, then we'll just have to figure out how to cover it up. Oh, you know what? I got to finish up. I haven't done the front of the card yet. Don't let me forget. I forgot. We got to put our bedazzling things on it, our gems. Okay, so I think that's good. So let's go ahead I'm going to huff on this, and hopefully we can get that stamped. And hopefully I have the ink off the other part, and we'll stamp that right there. Let me move my scissors out of the way. All right, not too bad. All right, so we're going to color that. Let me get this cleaned off and move that back over there. All right, so let's bring in, we're going to do a quick color. It won't take long. I guess we do need our greens, don't we? And the beiges. All right, so this one we will do a quick coloring. And I've got, it's a little smeared, but it's okay. No one's gonna really notice that, honestly. When whoever gets this card, they're gonna be so excited that you actually sent them a handmade card, which is what we're supposed to be doing, right? Send out your handmade cards. So put a little dark olive there, and then we'll come back and use our light olive for our leaf. We're going to get this colored in and blend those lines there. All right. Yeah, I definitely need to order my these old olive. I'm going to try to see if I can get a little bit of green on this thing, but I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, they're kind of, you tell they're getting dried out. You know, you can tell which colors you use all the time. My Daffodil Delight, for whatever reason, that thing goes fast. I mean, it is like history. I don't want the pale papaya. All right, here's the pumpkin pie. So let's go ahead and we'll just do our little dots again. We're going to do a line there. So this is fun. And then there's a cute little card. I mean, it's really easy. I think it's a cute card. And we're going to try to color again with this bigger tip. Let me get over here. And hopefully I don't go out of the lines. I'll stay within the insides. But yeah, it's I really like this set. And honestly, I don't have that many fall stamps. I don't know. I guess because I don't know if people really send a lot of fall cards or not. We had this discussion. I think it was me and I don't know if it was me and Amy or who it was. I think it was me and Amy, or maybe it was Marie. We were talking about, I think it might have been Marie, because we were talking about sending out cards, or she's making some cards for a boutique that she's going to sell her cards in. And we were talking about fall or Halloween, and we weren't sure which ones would probably sell better. So I think, but anyways, you know, because I don't know too many people that send out cards for the fall. Okay, so we have our pumpkin, right? So now we're going to add this little guy right down here and just give him, give it a little look. Probably should have done that. We'll just put him off to the side like that. So let me put a little bit of adhesive on here, and then we're going to attach this to our card. Whoops. Oh, I don't want to tear that, because these little pieces that are cut, they're so fine. You have to be really careful. So we're going to attach that just about like that. All right. And then we're going to take this. I guess I better quit talking. I'm using up more time than I thought it was. We're going to add this to the inside of our card. And again, I'm placing it on a piece of old olive. I hope this is cut down. I hope I cut it down. You know what? I didn't cut that down, did I? I did not. Oh, yeah, I did. Barely goes on there. See, it's just got a little bit, just a little bit of that old olive showing through. We'll push this up just a tad. Probably could have trimmed it a little bit more, but that's all right. It still shows through. All right, so there's that. So let's go ahead and add that to the inside of our card. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about. Do you all ever use the back side of that glue? I never have until today, because I couldn't get the glue out of one of my other things. And so I thought, well, I saw the bottom part, and I thought, well, let me open that and see. And I've tried it before, and I could never get glue out of it. Well, the daggone thing, glue was coming out. So I was using this thing. Here, let me get you show you the one. And then this right here, it's a big fat piece. See that? And you can smear it. It's bigger, so you can lay it all, you know, spread it out easier than doing the little dotty thing. So there's something. I could never get it out. For whatever reason, it decided to do it today. All right, so there's the inside. I'm not going to put a message in there. So that's the inside of our card. Now, the only thing that we need to do here to the front is we're going to add some, these are the in color jewels. So let me find my tweezers. No, let me use my scissors. And we are going to add a couple of these. I'm going to put the pale papaya ones on here. And I'm going to put one here. And we've got a little baby one. So I'm going to put that, I think I'll put that one right there. And then we're going to put one down here. And then I'm going to put one, make sure I got the glue on it, the adhesive. Nope, hang on a minute. You have to be careful with these things because the adhesive sometimes comes off the bottom and then you have to mess with it. So I'm going to put one, I think, right up in this corner. And make sure I got the adhesive so I can slide this guy over. And let's put another one. Might as well even it out, right? We don't want him to look uneven, so we'll put one right about there. All right, there we go. You use the other Tombow? Oh, so, all right. So there is our first card. Isn't that cute? I love the colors, too. I think the Pear Pizzazz is really a nice color with the Old Olive. Isn't that cute? And there you go. So make sure that you leave comments and or share, and then your name will go in the drawing, and you might get these this wonderful card. Now, see the difference? Don't you like it with it embossed, and then that's too big? I mean, it's still a nice card, don't get me wrong, but that's a little bit too big for the card. So, all right, so there's that one. Okay, now let's get into this next card. This might take a little bit of time. I wanted to case one of the cards out of the book, out of our July through December book. And let me show you. Now, if you're a customer, you don't know this, but if you're a demonstrator, you should know this. And if you don't, you need to pay attention because this is something you can give your customers to use. All right. So in the annual catalog, as well as the holiday catalog, if you will, they have what they call recipes. Now, it's not the directions, but it tells you the colors that they've used, right? So if you're not aware of that as a demonstrator, you can go into the catalog section, and where the catalog pictures are, there's a download that says recipes, and it just prints out, you look up the page number, and this is page 48, and then it will show you some of these cards, and it just tells you what the colors they used. Okay, so this is the card that we're going to make. Now, I've changed up my colors because I don't like this one. We're watercoloring. Now, granted, this is an artist who does this for a living, and they know what they're doing because, right, that looks really, really pretty. And I was trying to get that whole look. This is what mine looks like. Now, I colored the ribbon, too, on this one. But I think this is Blackberry Bliss, and that came in too dark as far as I'm concerned. This is Old Olive, Blackberry Bliss, and this is Cajun Craze. So I like this color, and I like this color, but I don't like that color because it's too dark. What do y'all think? Give me your thoughts. So, and this is on Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to change it up, and we're going to try this using, using Highland Heather, and I'm going to use the Highland Heather ink, because I think that I can probably move that a little bit better and get a lighter, a better picture, better coloring of the ink. I just think the Blackberry Bliss is too dark, and you're not going to hurt my feelings if you say it is, because I think it is. So, Barely Art Glue. What is that? Barely Art Glue. I'll have to look that up. But anyways, I liked it. I like that. And this is the Highland Heather Grosgain, and I colored that with the Rich Razzleberry marker to color that as well. So in case you want to, but I just think it looks too splotchy there. So we're going to go with Highland Heather and see how that works. And we're going to use the same other two colors. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, and this is Highland Heather, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And we're going to do this long ways. So I'm going to move this picture out of the way. But in case you didn't know that, demonstrators that may be watching me, you can get the recipes in our catalog section. It's another reason why you should join my community, because you can get some of the stuff that as a customer you can't get, like the recipes, and you get to pre-order early stuff, and we get all sorts of goodies. You get invited to different backstage and center stage, and now the dog's looking at me like she's got to go to the bathroom, but she's gonna have to wait. All right, so this is our card base. Now we're gonna come in. I'm gonna use shimmer white. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can you see the shimmer on here? We're gonna use this, And I am going to bring in Highland Heather. Oh, shoot. I don't know if I brought the ink. I think we're good. Okay, so we've got Highland Heather. We're going to do Cajun Craze. This is one of the older ones. You can see I've got I put some ink in this one. And then we've got our Old Olive. We're going to do some Whisper White. The white pigment. This is it takes a little bit to dry. And we're going to use Stays On. The black Stays On. Okay, and then I'm using our new watercolor pencils. I've got a large one, which I didn't use earlier, so I'm going to use the large tip, and then I do have a smaller tip here. When you purchase these, they come 3 in a pack. You get this big Mamma Jamma one that has the brush. Can you see how big that brush is? And then you get one like this that's a little bit smaller, and then there's one that's a little bit smaller than that, okay? And you fill them up with water. And that's what we're going to do. Hopefully I can do this. Hopefully we can make this work and not make it look like a goofball. So let's go with, let's see. What do we want to do here? Let's go with our, now I've got some pads off to the side, and so there's a thing on here that says to push. So you're going to squeeze some ink, water down your, if you can see, I'm going to drop some water in the pan here. Hopefully it will come out. There we go. It's starting to come. All right, so I'm going to get some water in here. Because I think what I did the last time, even though I kept trying to dilute it, I don't think I had enough water. So I'm going to grab some of this water. Let me get it in the camera. And I'm just going to start swizzling. But I don't want it quite as dark. So if you don't want it quite as dark, just try to add some more water. And the bigger one's a little bit harder. You got to squeeze to get the water. There we go. All right, so I'm going to start out, because I'd rather start out light and add some more color. So I'm just going to do, and I'm not the expert at this, but by any means, I'm letting you know that right now. But I just thought, why not? We got to try it, or we'll never know how to do it. So I'm just going to start making little swooshy lines and just lightly make sure I cover all my edges, and maybe add some darker spots in certain areas. And we're just going to kind of I'm just going to make some swoop. I don't know how they did that in the book, how they did theirs. Because they've got light spots and dark spots, and I'm not sure. So, but we're going to do some splattering too. So if you're not familiar with splattering, we're going to do some of that. All right, so let's add a little bit more. I'm going to do a little bit more darker on the edge here. So let me grab a little bit more of the ink. Now, if you're somebody that knows how to watercolor, I would love for you to share. So if you have any tips or anything, let me know. So I'm just going to lightly add this because I don't want it to get too dark, okay? Now I'm going to take this, because I think let me add a little bit. Let me add just a little bit more. Let's just do a little bit more. I'm going to squeeze some more water in here. You probably can't see me because I'm probably off camera with this. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. I'm going to try to do a little bit. Go up there. All right, we'll leave that like that. Okay. And then I'm going to squeeze this on my, he set this off to the side because I am going to need that in a minute. So I'm going to squeeze this on my paper towel just to try to get the color off, because I don't want to transfer it to the next, then we change our color of our ink. So I'm going to get that off of there as much as possible. Now I'm going to come in with the Highland. So let's see how we can do our Highland Heather. So let me get some water in here. Woo, there we go. We got water in here now. All right, so see how dark that gets? So let's try to get some of that off. All right, so here we go. Let's try to see if we can get some light colors. And I'm just drawing lines. I don't honestly, I think that's going to look much better than the other one. And I'm going to get some, let me put some dark edges down here. Maybe a little bit in there. Some little spots. We'll kind of make it look little wispies. We do want to color up there on the edges because we don't want to have white. I'm going to add a little bit more here. This is fun. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, it's fun. So this is how you learn, right? You just got to practice. This is the first time I've done this. See, now I went too far. You know how I kept going back and forth, back and forth? That's why it gives it that dark line. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. I'm going to shut this one. And give me just a minute, because then I'm going to pull in. I'm not going to shut it all the way. We'll leave that right there. Let me squeeze this and get this one cleaned off. And then I think what I'll do afterwards is I'll take these and just kind of run the water over them under the sink to try to get the colors. They'll probably stain, but it's not going to affect the color. All right, now we're going to bring in our olive, and then we're going to come back and do some, what do you call it? Let me get some ink in the hair. We're going to do some splattering. So I'm pushing the center of the lid. These are easier on the old ones. Wetting your paper makes the paint. Oh, well, thank you, whoever told me that. You should have said that before I started. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? I should have swished the water on the paper. So why don't I do that first before I do the green, the ink, and let's see what the difference is. All right, I think I got enough there. All right, so let's take, let me make sure I got my purple off. All right, so let's put a little bit of water on here. Even though it's not watercolor paper, we'll put, that might be too much, but, all right, I'm gonna blotch this a little bit. Okay. Ah, very good. All right, so now we're gonna come in with our old olive, and let's try and see how this works. Now that might work even better. So whoever made that comment, sorry I was doing, who's doing the dishes? All right, so we're going to come in. Oh, look at that. Now I'm going to have a little bit darker here, which is fine. I'm okay with that because I want to have, and I'm just doing, I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. I'm just making marks. Let's get some more. I need to get some more water in my tray. So get some more water here. That does help it move, though. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's put a little bit more here, get some more color. All right, then we're going to come back. All right, we're going to let that dry because that is a little bit wetter. I think I want a little bit more color. Let me see if I can get some more color. I'm going to dab on there. See what we can do here. I just want a little bit of darkness throughout. I'll come back. Okay, now I'm going to do some splattering. So I'm just going to put some ink on my thing, and I'm just going to tap on my fingers and let it splatter all over the cardstock. Now you're probably not going to be able to see. Let me get some more of the green. If we can get some green on here, you might be able to see the splattering. Let me do the smaller one. This one might work better. Hang on, let me get some water in here. All right, let's do that and get some ink on here. There we go. This will probably splatter better. All right, I'm just hitting it on my hand. See how it's making little splatter marks? All right, so we're going to do a little splattering here. All right, and now I'm going to come back. Let me close this one up. I'm going to come back with our Highland Heather. Let me wipe this one off, and then we're going to take this one, and we're going to do some more splattering. See how the splatter? There you go. See those little splats? How it's getting a little splotchiness on it. So let's do a little bit there. Put some here. I want to get some on the coral. We'll get some on the purple too, on the Highland Heather. There we go. We're going to add our little splotches to it. All right, and then we're going to come back. Let me clean this one. And we'll add some of our Cajun Craze. All right, so give me a minute here. And then I'm going to come back and make a couple of little spots if I can. All right, there's my Cajun. So that's pretty. I mean, once we get it all done, hopefully it looks fine. All right, I'm adding some more water to get a little bit in here. I don't want to put too much. All right, so let's do some splattering. I'll turn it this way. There we go. Isn't that cool how you splatter? Look at that. Ooh, look at that. That's cool looking. Ooh, I like that. That's very pretty. All right. Now, let's take, I'm going to do a little dab, and I'm going to put a dot. I just want to make like a dot. Actually, I have a stamp that I brought over here. I don't know if that would look funny or not. The little spots on there. What do y'all think if I do that? Maybe that, nah, I don't think so. I think that might take away from it. I was going to do the spots, but I think I'm going to leave them. I think I like it like that. So I'm just going to leave that alone. You know, sometimes they say less is more, right? So that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to let that sit for just a second. And then I'm going to come in. Let me get all these out of the way. Now I'm going to come in with my black. Hang on a second. Let me clean up my little brush here. Try to get as much ink off this as I can. I'm going to come in with my black Stays On and Stays On. Stays On is used for like porous type things, like when you do the tiles or cup things that you put like your what are they called? Table things. Things you put on your table to put your cups on. Cup holder things. Anything like that. All right, we'll clean that later. Okay, so Let me move this guy. Hang on a minute. Let me just get most of my ink off here because I don't want it to. Okay, we'll clean that up in a minute. All right, moving on. Okay, so stays on. You have a special cleaner for this. This is something that you definitely need to use because if you don't, it will stain your stamps. Okay, so you want to make sure you clean them really well with that. Now I'm using this stamp here, and we're going to use it on Stays On. Use the Stays On. And oh, it's pretty dry. Now see how it's kind of buckled, but that's all right. We're gonna use our tape runner on this. So I'm just gonna take this stamp using the Stays On, and I'm just gonna stamp it randomly on the card. So and I'm not sure how I want to do this. So we're just gonna stamp it, and we're gonna kind of stamp it off. And some of this you're not gonna see. Let's turn it this way, because it's going to be hidden underneath our window sheet. We're going to put a window sheet on here. And I'm going to put one down here because I know we're going to see this part. Okay. And do we want any more? I think that's good because this is going to, I'm going to leave that open. So I think we'll leave it like that and see what that does. All right, now. So I'm going to take my Stays On. And this has a little, like a spongy thing. And you just rub it on top and you can see how it starts to loosen the ink. So let me just wipe this off real quick, and then we will move on. All right, it's still in there, but that's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it when we get done. I don't think it's going to kill it right now. All right, now before I move forward, because I do need to let something dry, I'm going to pull in this first, the Pale Papaya, and I'm going to stamp the beautiful pumpkin. We're going to stamp this in the Whisper White. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that now so it can be drying while I finish up this piece right here. This is thick craft white craft ink. So you really have to make sure that you let this dry really well or it's going to smudge, okay? And I'm just making sure that I get my leaves nicely colored with the white. And it's just going to be a real pale color. You're not going to see a lot of it, but it's just enough to make it look pretty. And I'm going to use my rubber silicone mat to give me a little bit of cushion on this. So I'm going to place that down here, and I'm just going to push really, really hard and hold it down for a couple of seconds because I want to make sure that craft ink transfers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a window sheet, a piece of vellum cardstock, and we're going to cut some ribbon, and then we're going to decorate the front of this, and then we'll attach it to our card base, and we'll be almost done. Now let's see. Yeah, you can barely, can y'all see that? Can you see that? It looks pretty good. The one side right here is not quite as dark as the others, but I think that will be fine. Yeah, once it dries, I think it'll be fine. Or we can actually, let's do two. Let's just do it again. So make sure we got lots of ink on it. All right, I'm going to do this again right up here, and we'll push down on all four sides. Oh, we're doing good on time. It's a little bit before 8, but we should be done probably in 10 minutes. All right, I'm just going to let it sit while I chit-chat because I want to make sure we get all the color all the way through. So let me just rub it. This is probably would have been good to use the Stamparatus for, but that's all right. Yeah, I think that one looks better. Okay, we'll go with that one. All right, so in the meantime, let me put this up. And we're going to set this off to the side so it can dry. It won't take too long, but we're going to put that over there so we don't smudge it. And let me wipe this thing off. Thank you guys for watching. Hello from Virginia. Oh, it's Amy. Her and the puppy dog Bella are watching. Hi, Bella. Auntie Dawn says hi. It's a Chihuahua. Okay. All right, so let's bring this back in. I do like that color much better than the first one that we did. Okay, so our we're going to take a piece of vellum, and the vellum is 3 1/4 by 3 inches, and I'm going to have it go 3 1/4 is going to go the long way. So we're going to put it like that. So we're going to use glue dots. That way you put them in your corners of your vellum and you don't see them So you just press it down on your glue dots, and they're hidden in the corner so they don't stand out. Okay, so you just want to do that on all 4 corners. All right, and then we've got one more, and pull that one off, and then we're going to lay that down. So I'm going to have it go this way. So we're going to lay it like that. And what it does, and this is the vellum cardstock, so it kind of gives it like a muted effect. Make sure that's straight. That's not straight, is it? No, it's not straight. Actually, I probably should put this on the card. All right, let's see if we can move this up. Hang on a minute. All I need is this one. There we go. Let's move that one. All right, give me a minute so I can look at it. I think that might be straight there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we've got that there. Let's go ahead and attach this to our card base, and then that way we can finish it up. I'm going to go ahead and use since it's bowing, I'm going to use our seal, and we'll go ahead and get this on there, and then by the time we get all of this done, then we'll be able to finish up our card. See how strong this stuff is? I'm going to put a piece right in the middle. Okay. So we're going to come in, and I want this on the right-hand side. So I'm going to come in and lay this right about there. All right. And now we're going to take our ribbon, and this is the Highland Heather Grosgrain, and we're just going to cut some and have it lay across the card. And I'll stick it down with some adhesive, and then I'll trim these up in just a second. All right, so we're going to just lay this here. And let me go ahead and trim this one up, and then I can trim the other piece. I'm going to lay it at an angle, and then I'll have the other one. I don't know if I want it that long, though. Maybe we'll just do it barely hanging over. And let's cut this one like that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of the seal just in the center part of this, not the whole thing. And I'm going to lay that right about there. And if it's too, whoopsie, if it's too long, then I think I think I might trim it down just a little bit. All right, and then we'll come back with this one, and I think I'm just going to kind of do a little, how do I want to do this? Maybe this one needs, let me bring this one down just a little bit. I think I can lift it up. Let me bring this one down just a tad, because I want this one to kind of go over it. All right, so we'll do that one, and then this one I'll just kind of cross it a little bit like that. So we're definitely going to cut this one down. So let's cut this one to about there, and I'm going to snip this one. All right, and we'll just place it like that. I think that'll be fine. It's going to be covered because that's where we're going to put the pumpkin, but I want the pieces to show through. Okay, so let's go ahead and, whoops, and we'll just kind of crisscross these just a little bit. Yeah, we'll go like that. That'll be good. All right, so there's that part. All right, now we're going to, hopefully that's dry. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this with my 2 1/4, I think it is, circle punch, which is retired, to get my circle, and then I can easily cut around it so it doesn't look, 2 1/4. So then I can just trim it a little bit so it doesn't look like, I'm going to just make sure it's dry. So it doesn't look like you're trying to fussy cut with a circle. It makes it a little bit harder, right? I think we're good. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to push this through here, and we're going to cut it, and then all I've got to do is just trim up the sides and the bottom. So I've just got it pretty much, actually the sides are pretty much lined up for the most part. And then I'll just cut the bottom and around the top. Okay. All right, that's kind of the cheating way, but it's easy to do it that way. So I'm going to come in right here and just kind of work my way around by the white here and just bring it around. And then hopefully I should be able to just kind of come off where you're not going to notice it. And then we're going to come back up here, and I'm just going to trim. And I know y'all can't probably see the white yet, but let me just, instead of using the craft ink, you could also I'm just going to cut around this. You could also use white embossing powder if you wanted to emboss it. That would be pretty. And that would stand out a little bit more. But this is supposed to be a little bit more of a subtle look. And then I'm just going to trim it right like that. And that's good. I don't think no one's going to notice, except for I notice right here. Let me just trim this little piece right here. Okay. I think that's going to look nice. All right, so it's still a little damp, but that's all right. Let's put our dimensionals on here. Oh, before I do that, we got to stamp our sentiment. And we're going to stamp that in our Highland Heather. And the sentiment we're going to use on this one is the one that I used on the other card that I didn't like. All right, so let's make sure we got enough ink. Oh, I got way too much ink. Hang on, let me clean that. I pushed down. I was being like a customer, pushing down too much ink. I know Denise can relate to that. No push, push, just one little push. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to stamp this. Let me get it centered. I want to make sure I don't have any ink on my hands. All right, so we're just going to stamp this right about here. All right, so let me just let that sit for a minute. How y'all doing out there? We still good? All right, so there's our sentiment. Yay! And we're almost done. Cover that up. All right, so we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. And I got the baby powder over here from last week still. All right, so we're going to put dimensionals on the back of our pumpkin. And I'm just going to put 3 of them. And we'll pop these off. And we're going to lay that right about here. All right. Yeah, you can see a little bit off on my cutting, but that's okay. It's going to be hidden because guess what? We're putting a leaf on it. And then we're going to add some more adhesive on our leaf. So he's got his leaf on there. And whoopsie. I think we'll go, since that one right here is going that way, let's go like this. That way I can cover that up. How's that? Let's see. How do we want him to go? How about if we just lay it right like this around the bottom of the circle? What do you think about that? All right, there's our card. What do y'all think? Can you see the pale papaya and the white? I think this one looks much better than the other one. All right, let me bring the other one in. I do like the dark color, but I just think that's too dark. So there's our, isn't that cute? I really do like that. I like it much better than this one. All right, that is, I think we are done for the day. And then what we can do is we can take our envelope and we can stamp. Let's just take, hang on, and we don't even have to color it in. Let's just take our stamp. Where's my, here we go. Let's just take this and our flower, our leaf, and let's just stamp it in black. Actually, we could do it in green, but we'll just do it in black. And you could color it if you want, but we're going to stamp that on the front of our envelope. How's that? There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to bring y'all back up. Whoops, we don't want that one. You want to see me, don't you? There we go. All right, so let me pull in. Well, actually, let me put the camera back down so everybody can see the card because some people came in late. All right, so here's the cards that we made. These are the 2 that we made this evening. Let me move all the stuff out of the way. We'll put that right here. All right, so these are the 2 cards. I hope you all enjoyed this. And then this is the one that I made earlier today. And this one, you can see the difference. I did not emboss this one, and this is too big for the sentiment for the card, in my opinion. So there's the 2 cards there to give you an idea of what those 2 look like. Much better with it being embossed, don't you agree? And then this one is on the Blackberry Bliss with very dark on the inside. And then the one that I just did this evening is on Highland Heather. So definitely, let me put them sideways. I definitely like the Highland Heather. So what do y'all think? All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this again. So glad to see you all again on a Tuesday evening. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to Check out the kit. It's coming out tomorrow on Stampin' Up, the new holiday kit. Make sure if you want it, you go online. You can go to my website at shallwestamp.com if you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with. And make sure you get that purchased. I do have a new online class that's available to go or in person if you live near me in the villages. And that is on my Facebook page. It's on my business page as well. I think it's on the group page, but I'll post it if it's not. So thank you again, everyone. Have a great Tuesday, and I will see you next Tuesday evening. Okie doke. Bye, everyone.